the biggest fight of your life, no doubt about it. What's the feeling like compared to other fights you've had?
Nothing really, just walking around happy, smiling. As long as I can keep this positive, vibe going on, I'm going to be good. Like, I'm just happy to be here.
A lot of people are thinking questions around Jon Jones, the layoff, he's had his legal trouble, all those things. What version of Jon Jones are you expecting to see?
The version I've always seen. That's the version I want to fight anyway, so it makes me that much better. So I'm just going to make that fight that much epic.
The fact that it's an interim title, does that add anything to it for you, or is it almost like fighting the champ since he never got stripped of it?
Yeah, it's just plus at the end. So, at the end of the day, he never lost the fight. He has one loss, but he didn't lose that fight. So, like I said, the excitement, the opportunity. A lot of guys have opportunities like this, and the door was cracked open, and I just busted open.
Vince, Jon has been at the top for a very long time. Have you visualized this fight for yourself coming up the ranks?
Yeah, I would say about 4 years ago. So, my trainer and I talked about it. It's a fight that we actually seen coming a while back, and now that it's here, it's a blessing in disguise.
What was your reaction when you were out for the fight?
I really had nothing at all. It's something that we talked about previously before, so my reaction was just like, all right, let's go get it done.
Were you already preparing for any kind of fight?
No, I wasn't, but I was pretty much in fight shape already. So, it's one of the main reasons that we took the fight, and, we're here now.
It seems that Jon Jones struggled most against Alexander Gustafsson, who is very tall and athletic, as you are. Do you look at that fight as sort of a blueprint to maybe take on the Jon Jones problem?
There's a possibility, but, there are hearsays about that fight anyway. They said, he wasn't fully committed to training camp or whatever, but, this Jon I'm fighting, I don't care what nobody says, regardless of his layoff, regardless of the situation, I'm expecting, him to be 100%.
What's been the biggest challenge for you so far in this camp? Has it been the weight cut? Has it been the cardio? Has it been preparing for 5 rounds?
Really nothing. I think the biggest challenge is probably the 2 weeks of training. I love getting ready for short notice fights because these 3 month training camp, a lot of times they can be lingering. You're eating the same blame food all the time. But, these past 2 weeks, they've been a struggle, but at the same time, they've been a blessing just for the simple fact it was condensed into like one little piece. And I pick up pretty quickly on pretty much everything. If you show me something today, I can pull it off on a fight Saturday night. So that's why I wasn't worried about nothing.
A lot of people say that you have an unorthodox type of style. Do you think that that's going to be what poses the most problems for Jones?
I think it is. You kind of look at mixed martial arts in general as unorthodox. When we first started, it was, always jiu-jitsu. Now it's jiu-jitsu plus more. The thing about mixed martial arts people don't realize is it is evolving. So styles evolve, people evolve, and it's kind of start evolving too when you get athletes in that situation, because when you start doing that, that's when things start happening pretty big and pretty fast.
What have you done as an athlete for yourself to evolve?
Just not being content, always want to change. Like I said, mixed martial arts is evolving, so along the situation, I got to evolve too. Styles got to change. Situations got to change. I just can't rely on one specific style. You got to be relying all over.
Well, Vince, you've faced highly ranked competition in the division before. What do you think Jon Jones brings to this fight that maybe you haven't faced before?
Just more experience. He's been at the top for so long, so he brings a lot more experience than a lot of the guys that I fought in the previous.
Jones, do you bring for you?
Just a different style. I'm a big 205-pounder, and I'm finding out that pretty fast. So just bring a different style, somebody his size, somebody that can hit too. So hopefully that's a good enough challenge to see.
Do you think you also have like a mental edge?
Mentally, that's another big thing people don't realize too. I tell people you can have all the physical attributes, but mentally, if you're not mentally there, you lost the fight before you even got in there. So with my trainer and I, just been working a lot on mental preparation and stuff, and I think that's a big cutting edge, for my last fight. Going into the fight against Feijao, I got hurt. I got hurt in the first round, and I was able to fight through that. And that came with a lot of mental skills training. A lot of people don't understand how important that is.
What aspects of your game do you think is going to be most effective against Jon? Masata Dinoy?
Just because I'm unorthodox, you know. And a lot of times people ask me what type of fighter I am, you know. I got to turn to my trainer and ask him, hey, what type of fighter I am? And he looks at me, he's like, yeah, MMA fighter. So, you know, my style changed throughout different fights, you know. People ask me what type of scenario I might find myself in. I don't know, it could be a knockout submission. If it's a submission, it might be an unorthodox submission, I'll tell you that much.
Knowing what Jon brings, how much time have you spent sort of tailoring your own style to, you know, neutralizing his weapons and what he brings?
Well, it's not necessarily about neutralizing his weapon. It's about displaying what I have and stuff. As long as I can display what I have and keep that in front of his face, it'll be a challenge for him, you know. And as for Jon, he does little things to keep people at bay. And, you know, as long as I can get those neutralized, which we have a pretty firm game plan for that too. So I think I'll be okay.
So 2 weeks wasn't enough time to, you know, watch video and get a real read on that?
Well, if anybody knows my trainer, 2 weeks is plenty enough time for him. So, you know, the minute he found out about the fight, he probably watched all of Jon fight within a 48-hour period and tell you everything about him. He's that type of guy. So, you know, 2 weeks, 2 days is good enough for us.
Now I'm paraphrasing Quentin Jackson here, but he says Jon's a very dirty fighter with his oblique kicks and knee kicks and eye pokes. Is that something that factors into you? Do you feel that way about him, or is that just kind of spilt up?
Fight is a fight. There's rules and regulations for the fight. If it's legal, it's legal. So there's nothing dirty about it. But at the end of the day, it's a fight. It's one of them things where if I want to go in there and be nice to somebody, and you think they're gonna be nice to me, he's staring across me across the cage and like. You're telling me, like, if he had the opportunity to do anything, he'll do it. So, fight is a fight.
Thanks.
Thanks.